Investigators are certain that the crew of Flight 296 mishandled a risky maneuver. Michel has more questions for the captain.
What did you do when you saw the trees?
I did what any pilot would do. I tried to climb over them.
Investigators learn that in the final moments before the crash,
Take off, go around power.
Captain Asseline applied full throttle.
When I was waiting for the engine to spool up, that I realized in front of me there were trees. And I was waiting.
But he claims the engines did not respond. And when they finally kicked in, it was too late.
I tell you, the engines did not come on when I gave it full throttle.
He's convinced the engines didn't respond quickly enough in the final seconds of the flight, and makes his mission to prove it. He uncovers an Airbus document warning of a defect in the A320, which states that the plane's engine speed could stagnate at low altitude, a condition caused by poor airflow. When this occurs, the engine cannot accelerate. But investigators can find no evidence of such a failure in any of the data from the plane.
Take off, go around power.
In the 5 seconds after Captain Asseline applied full power on the thrust levers, the A320 twin engines had begun to spool up, reaching 84% thrust, close to full power, just before the plane hit the trees.
When you put from idle to full power, you have the impression that nothing happens for a few seconds, and then the power comes. But that was normal, exactly as predicted by the certification. We were able to compare the RPM of the engines from the flight data recorder. There was nothing wrong with the engines, any of the two engines.
Chief Investigator Claude Bichet has a new headache. Captain Asseline is convinced there is a conspiracy against him. He cuts off all cooperation with the investigation.
Investigation committee, I tried to cooperate with them, but I began to be suspicious. And the press, each week, the aircraft is good, the aircraft has nothing, pilot error. All that was a big cover-up, my opinion.
Captain Asseline begins a campaign to challenge the French investigation. He appears on British television to make a dramatic assertion.
When I pull the stick to up position, the flight controls, the elevator control go to down position. So on any aircraft, if you ask up, following the order of the pilots, the elevator control goes to up. And not that on that one, it went to down. Why? That would be the good question.
His accusations go to the heart of doubts about the aircraft. That Airbus's fly-by-wire system had given the A320's computers too much control. Asseline's claim that the plane didn't follow his instructions is supported by data from the plane's flight recorder. The black box recorded every movement of the pilot's side stick controller. It does show that seconds before the crash, Captain Asseline pulled it back to get the plane's nose up. Investigators compare it with what the plane did in response. They make a perplexing discovery.
He's telling the truth. The elevator moved down.